Another good fish. Hey everyone, it's John here from CNS Outdoors. Today, I want to talk to you about ice fishing jigs. I don't want to talk about spoons. I don't want to talk about rip and wraps. I want to talk strictly jigs and which ones I think are the best. So I'll give you my top 4. So now when you're going into the bait shops and you're looking for the jigs, which ones do you go for? You know, most jigs nowadays are meant to catch the fisherman, not so much to catch the fish. There's all kinds of different designs out there. You have to figure out which works the best for you. But I'll tell you right now, these are the ones that I like the best. And I'll explain to you as to what they are and how I like to use them. Let's get on with the show. First off, we got to talk about the different types of jigs. There's going to be a vertical jig, which hangs straight up and down. Those I like to use when they're in shallower water, or when I'm fishing shallower water. Usually 6 foot or less. You're real tight to the fish with those. There's not too much using your markums or anything like that. It's when I'm really searching for shallow water fish. They come in many styles. You got your teardrop, you got your Rembrandts, your purist, teardrop with a flasher. Now those are the ones that I like to use when I'm out there on the shallow water. When you're in deeper water, you don't want to use those. Generally speaking, they're not real good for the fish looking up. They don't see much of a profile. When it comes down from the Vexilar, you mark them, you know, your flashers in general. The cone coming down has a lot smaller profile. Then you have your horizontal jigs. Now these come in different types. You have rat finky style, where it's just a lead ball on the head and it's a piece of plastic. You've got, I want to call them the diamond cut or Maramuska jig, where the heads, they're usually tungsten. You use those generally with a piece of plastic or live bait. They're usually heavier, like I said, the tungsten ones, but they can come in smaller sizes but still have the same weight of your lead jigs. Then you've got a minnow style head. Another one, which is my absolute favorite, is the snow cone style. I don't know what the name of those are, but that's the one I like to use. Then you have your fly style. Usually you've got tie of some sort, whether it's hair or what it would be. The VMC blowfly and some of these other ones that have a little tuft of hair sticking out to the sides. Now that's another great one. So when I'm using these, like I said, these horizontal jigs, most of the time I'm just using live bait on them. But again, you can use plastics on these. They have a very good profile. When your cone is coming down for your flasher, the profile looks larger. It's easier to pick up in deeper water. And when the fish is looking up, they see the long profile, so they can see where that bait is. Not only do I like to use these more when I'm fishing deeper, but water clarity is another factor. In the winter, your water's generally pretty clear, unless we're getting some kind of a runoff later in the winter. That can cloud up your water. Tannic water is generally clear. That's just a stain color water. Normally right away in the beginning of ice fishing when you get some runoff, or again towards the end is most of the time where you get dirty water, I definitely will be using a horizontal jig at that moment. The ones that got the hair on them off to the sides, they usually produce well for me, giving it a nice profile. When it comes down to it, my favorites are probably going to be the blowfly type, the fly larvae, where you have the hair, almost like a marabou style jig. That ice cream cone one in gold just produces just about any place I go to. I don't know what it is. And then from there, I usually go down to the fire tigers that resemble a small sunfish, a small perch. Those are the colors that I like the best. When it's high sky and bright out, I usually go to the lighter colors, the more natural color. Whether that's white, the browns, reds, that's when I like to go, or maybe the dark greens. When we have a lot of cloud cover, when that water's a little bit more murky, that's when I like the darker colors. Sun also is a time that I like a lot of flash, whether it's gold or the silvers. But in cloudy, I seem to have better with the blacks, the dark greens, maybe the blues, if you have them. I got a buddy that he uses Wonder Bread, where it's white with dots of blue and pink and whatever else color. He will not change. I mean, for that guy, Wonder Bread's the only color he needs, and I think that's about the only jig he ever ties on too. So anyways, colors, that's how I pick them. But I would have to say, according to this, my top 4 jigs would be that snow cone jig right there. That's probably my #1 go-to. I feel confident that I can catch fish in just about any body of water that I'm going for panfish. My #2 is going to be these fly styles. These I really like. I don't know what it is, but I found that if I can't catch fish on any of the other ones, this is normally the ones that I'll go to when it's the toughest. The minnow style head, whether you got plastic on it, whether you've got live bait, seems to be the other one that I like to go to. Last but not least is that dropper jig, the teardrop style, with the little blades on the sides of it. Gives me a lot of flash in dirty water, especially when I'm up shallow. That has to be my most favorite vertical jig of all. So I hope this video helps you out on trying to decide what jigs you want to use. Makes it a little bit easier to put a few fish on the ice for you. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Tight lines and shoot straight, everyone.